inside the vaccine. And again, if you want to be safe, that's amazing. Thank God you want to be safe. Thank God you're doing the vaccine to actually make sure that you don't infect other people, right? But if you're doing something because they told you to do so, it's very different that if you're doing something because you actually made the research, like, hey, I trust them. So now, the problem with the vaccine in the COVID is a lot of people are blaming it for something. So, for example, there's been a rise in autism over the last couple of years, right? And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, this is the vaccine, shit like that. Now, the reality, right? The reality is the reason why there's more cases of autism is because we have a better understanding of autism. So, in the beginning, autism was what? Autism was autism, that's it. Now, okay, well, you know what? You got autism and you got Asperger. Okay, so you know what? You're on the spectrum, but there's different sides of the spectrum. There's different intensity to the spectrum. Maybe you're a little bit, you're a little autistic, or maybe you're very autistic, right? There's a lot more knowledge on autism. There's the non-verbal autism, non-verbal, non-communicative, violent, right? There's a lot more knowing about that. Because we know a lot more about that, we're able to diagnose a lot more people with it. So if your version of somebody who's autistic is X, but then you're like, oh, well, you know what? There's also Y, and everybody that has Y is now autistic. They were autistic before, but now they're clinically proven to be autistic. Because people don't know what was in the vaccine, a lot of people are going to say, hey, this fucks us up, this did this, this did that, and there's no information for that, right? So if a lot more people wanted information about the vaccine, then it would stop people from naysayer. It would stop people from saying, you know what, this is, holy shit. The guy actually saved me. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? See, I was supposed to do like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And what, 3 hours for what? For 20... I don't mind streaming. I like gaming, but basically we took 8 hours to get one pickaxe. And I'm happy that I'm getting the pickaxe. It's free pickaxe. Thank you so much for the pickaxe. That's abusive, You did what, bro? What did you do? I did what? Love that noise. Okay, 6 on those. Got a text. So okay to tell me, get the vaccine? Did they change the way you live? Did they change anything? No. Honestly, dude, if it didn't change anything, there's no problem. I'm not saying there's a problem with getting the vaccine. I'm saying there's a problem with getting a vaccine and not getting informed about what you're putting in your body. Right? When you have a headache. Getting the vaccine is not a problem. But if you're getting an headache, right? And somebody tells you, hey, here's this pill, this is Tylenol. And you look at the pill and it's not looking like the Tylenol. And you're seeing that there's other writing on it that are not Tylenol. Are you going to take the pill, or are you going to be asking, hey, what is this, right? So the vaccine is the same thing. Getting the vaccine is a medication. Getting the vaccine can improve your life. But if you take something that without knowing what it is, it's a bit of a problem, bro. I don't know if you remember, like a couple of years ago, there was a huge fentanyl outbreak, and a lot of people died because of fentanyl. If people did more research on what they were ingesting, on what drug they were doing, a lot of people that have been dead via overdose could have saved their life. There's actually like heroin, right? Heroin, one of the biggest drugs in the world. There's actually a dose of heroin that you can take on a certain basic. I don't know if it's a daily basic, I don't know if it's a weekly basic, but there's a certain dose of heroin that you can take in safety, right? So if you were, I'm not saying start to do heroin, I'm saying if you were addicted, by getting this information, you can save your own life, right? You don't have to worry about overdosing, you don't have to worry about... See, we're seeing that a lot, and this is actually interesting. We're seeing that a lot with people with alcoholism, right? They're learning to live with alcoholism, right? Even people that smoke crack, people that smoke crack or meth, right? Meth is what? Meth is methamphetamine, right? Which is a drugs. Methamphetamine is one hell of a drug, but they found something which is methadone. Methadone is the same component, the same addictive component as a meth, but it's very different. So meth will get you high. Meth will get you high. Methamphetamine will get you fucking high. Methamphetamine will not get you high, but both contain meth, and that meth is the addictive part. So methamphetamine, amphetamine, is the part that gets you high. Methadone, adone, is the part where there's no addictive variant of it. So in both cases, you got the component of meth, but you can get this. So with alcoholic or alcoholism, a lot of people are functioning alcoholic. So they're able to have their drink, they're able to feed that addiction, but they're still able to function in society. So the way they do that is because they research it. They know, okay, well, I have to get at least this dosage a day, right? And there's even products that are the I know a little less about that. But there's this product where, again, the addictive part of the alcohol is in your system by taking that. I don't know what it's called though. And I think it's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal to have this health issue, but to be able to do it. So for example, right? So you know AIDS. AIDS is also super interesting. So AIDS, you can live. AIDS, there's no, okay. So AIDS has been a problem since, let's say, a century, right? Let's say a century. So a lot of people have AIDS, and it used to be something bad. Now, there's no cure for AIDS, but there's medicine for you to be able to live peacefully with AIDS. So the actual AIDS virus, right, is still a problem. It's still a large problem. People that get AIDS can transmit it. There's no vaccine for it. There's no medication for it, right? But now there's medication for you to be able to live with AIDS. And because you're able to live with AIDS, it's not a problem. Now, you being sick is a problem. You being sick is not good. But you being able to survive is good, you know? So that's what I'm trying to say. So once again, the vaccine, to get back to the subject, the vaccine, if you took it, it's amazing, dude. But you shouldn't take medication, no matter what it is. You shouldn't take medication because somebody told you, hey, dude, this is good. Take medication because you know it's good, right? Take medication. I was talking about the example of Tylenol. Tylenol is proven. You know that people are doing Tylenol because they have a headache. So if you have an headache, you're gonna know your medication. You're gonna know that Tylenol is gonna know Advil, right? Now, the thing that I don't like with the vaccine, for the COVID, right? And again, I'm not trying to be a theorist, I'm not trying to say, oh, dude, this is a ad from the government. But there was five vaccine. There were Medica, there were Pfizer, there was, I don't remember the other one, but those are the two, right? Moderna, right? Moderna, Pfizer, Medica, and those three were the main popular, right? And those three were the main popular. They were the three most popular vaccine. But if you look at the medical components of the vaccine, you realize that those three vaccine had a completely different build when it comes to how they're made. So they're using different ingredients, right? Now, I don't know about you, but when I have a headache, I know I can take a Tylenol, I know I can take an Advil. That's about it. I don't know what I'm gonna take else. So I find it weird that 5 different companies have different vaccine. Now, am I saying that the 5 companies are doing some horrible stuff? No. I'm saying that maybe 2, maybe 3 of them had the good recipe. Maybe 2 or 3 of them actually had a positive vaccine. But I think that some of them were saying, yo, we have a vaccine, but it wasn't proven, it wasn't tested. right? Which is a problem. So when you have medication, you have to do tests on rats, then you can test on human beings. There's a whole setup, and there wasn't that setup because of the crisis. Now, ultimately speaking, even if you took the vaccine, I don't think there's a problem with that, right? I don't think there's a problem with that. But it's just the fact that you're putting something in your body that you don't know what it is, and that's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is super fucking dangerous. And it sucks because there was so much misinformation about the vaccine, and now there's so much misinformation about there's so much misinformation about the result of. Well, it's just I'm not trying to school you, bro. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. You do whatever the fuck you want, but just think about it, you know. Now, if there was a new vaccine, I'm not saying don't do it, but a lot of people are gonna do it because I know people. That's a true story, dude. I swear to God, I know people that took 5 of the vaccine. It took 5 every single company that gave them the vaccine, right? They took it, and now the problem with that is maybe you should mix things. And maybe because you mix things, then there's a problem. And that's scary. So you see, we didn't even get one mission. So all of this game served no purposes. Didn't get a point. I didn't get a single... I'm going to complain now. I'm going to rant a little bit. All of this game, which again, having fun, but didn't serve a purpose because... we didn't get a single points. Now, it wouldn't be a problem, usually. But we didn't get a single points out of the 80 points that we need. So it's like playing a game for 20 minutes and getting less than 1%. We got 0.00. Now, ultimately speaking, it's my fault. I should have done better, of course. But I don't think it's fair. I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. Especially since it's for a pickaxe that I'm not gonna use. But it is high. I'm choosing to fight for it. I'm choosing to try to get it. So when